I thought I'd found the perfect, quiet suburban escape when I moved into this neighborhood, but that illusion shattered the moment I crossed paths with Karen. She's the epitome of overbearing entitlement, convinced she owns the entire block with her self-invented HOA rules and her band of pretend cops strutting around like they have real power. Little did she know, she was picking a fight with the wrong person. I'm an FBI agent, and I don't back down from intimidation. But as events unfolded, the situation escalated far beyond what anyone could have imagined, turning my life into a web of threats, lies, and high-level betrayals. Before we unravel this wild ride, drop a comment below letting me know where you're tuning in from today. Maybe even share your own Karen encounter to keep the karma flowing. It all kicked off with a thunderous banging on my door at the crack of dawn, so forceful it made my windows vibrate like they were about to shatter. Groggy and disoriented, I stumbled to the front hall, my mind racing with possibilities. Maybe an emergency, someone in desperate need of help. Peering through the peehole, I spotted two figures in identical uniforms emblazoned with bold letters spelling out HOA Police. Their badges gleamed cheaply, like dollar store knockoffs, but they held themselves with rigid authority, their faces etched with stern glares that sent an unexpected jolt through me. My pulse quickened unnaturally for such an early hour. Cracking the door just enough, I asked cautiously, "Can I help you?" The taller one, a man with a chiseled jaw that screamed overcompensation, jabbed a finger in my direction. "We're here on official HOA business," he boomed. "Your property's racked up multiple violations, and we demand access to inspect your garage immediately." A wave of irritation surged through me. Violations? What on earth are you talking about? There's nothing in my garage that violates any rules. The shorter officer, a woman with piercing, narrowed eyes, snapped back without hesitation. "Don't complicate this. We have full authority from the HOA." I noticed right away they hadn't mentioned anything about warrants or involving actual law enforcement, red flags waving in my mind. Keeping my tone even, I replied, "I'm an FBI agent. If this is legitimate, show me the proper documentation." That only made the tall one smirk arrogantly. "Your FBI status doesn't exempt you from neighborhood regulations." Just then, a subtle shift caught my eye behind them. Karen, my ever-meddlesome neighbor, lurking over their shoulders with a smug, triumphant grin plastered across her face. She'd always been the loud, intrusive type, nitpicking every minor detail on the block, from lawn heights to mailbox colors. In that instant, it clicked. This had to be her orchestrated spectacle, and a knot of unease twisted in my gut. Stepping out onto the porch, I maintained my composure. "Karen, care to explain what's happening here?" She tilted her chin defiantly, her voice oozing fake politeness. "Oh, nothing much. Just ensuring everyone abides by the rules. You can't pull rank with your job to get special treatment." The fake officers bobbed their heads in agreement. "We've received reports of suspicious activity in your garage," the woman added ominously. I let out a strange chuckle to mask my growing tension. Suspicious activity? Like what exactly? Karen shrugged nonchalantly, but her eyes gleamed with malice. "Late-night noises, for starters. Could be hazardous materials, or who knows, maybe you're up to something shady." My jaw clenched hard. That's absolute nonsense, and you know it. If there's a genuine issue, I'll address it, but this reeks of harassment. The tall officer whipped out a flimsy sheet of paper, a typed form lacking any official seal or signature, just bold text declaring I was under HOA investigation. I fought to stay calm. That document holds zero weight. You have no legal right to force your way in. Karen sighed dramatically, as if I were the unreasonable one. "Are you sure you want to fight this? I can easily tack on refusal to cooperate as another violation." I shot her a piercing glare. "Since when does the HOA have its own police force?" I've been here long enough to know it's just volunteers handling minor stuff like yard maintenance and exterior paint. The shorter officer thrust a plastic badge in my face, its cheap sheen almost comical if not for the escalating threat. We've been granted expanded powers now. Step aside. I shook my head firmly. No, without real law enforcement and a valid warrant, you're not setting foot inside my home. The man advanced a step, his posture aggressive. Don't push us. Anger bubbled up inside me, but as an FBI agent, I knew escalating physically would play right into their hands. Crossing my arms, I stood my ground. If you attempt to enter, you'll be the ones facing charges. Karen's smirk returned, dripping with condescension. Threats won't work on us. The whole street knows you think you're above the law. Right then, my phone vibrated urgently in my pocket. Glancing at the screen, I saw my boss's name flashing, an unusual early call that made my stomach tighten further. One moment, I told the imposters, retreating into my entryway. The tall man barked after me, "This isn't over." Ignoring him, I answered. My boss's voice came through strained and urgent. "Get to the office immediately. We've got a situation." My heart plummeted. Is this related to some complaint about me? A heavy pause hung on the line before he replied. "We'll discuss it in person." Hanging up, I returned to the door where the trio still loomed, Karen presiding like a queen. "I have to leave now," I stated flatly. "We'll handle this later." The woman officer shook her head disapprovingly. "Leaving now? We'll note you as uncooperative." Karen edged closer, her eyes icy. "You really want your neighbors seeing you flee like this?" I exhaled sharply. "Karen, this is absurd. You know damn well you can't arrest me." She cocked her chin mockingly. "I'm not arresting you. They are, and I'm not intervening." The male officer brandished a pair of plastic zip ties, as if seriously intending to restrain me. Reminding myself to stay level-headed, I warned, "Put those away. Impersonating officers is a serious crime. You realize that?" The woman grabbed a radio that looked more like a prop than functional. Karen clucked her tongue in feigned pity. "You might want to comply. They can issue citations with real consequences." My jaw locked. A fake citation is worthless. The tall man dangled the zip ties closer. "Want to test if these are fake too?" In that chilling moment, the full extent of their setup dawned on me. They were baiting me into a rash reaction, engineering a trap to discredit me further. Taking a deliberate breath, I de-escalated. "I'm stepping away for urgent work matters. You all need to vacate my property now." Karen shrugged indifferently. "We'll be monitoring. The HOA has eyes everywhere." That elicited a bitter laugh from me. The real HOA might, but this farce isn't it. The male officer's lips thinned in frustration. "Consider this your final warning." He glanced at Karen, who nodded subtly. "Non-cooperation will lead to recommended disciplinary measures." I fixed them with a steely stare. "Recommend whatever you like. Now off my porch." They retreated reluctantly, but not before the woman snapped a quick photo of me with her phone. Karen flashed a mocking smile. "Smile for the neighborhood records." My stomach churned with disgust as I watched them leave my lawn before slamming the door shut. My phone buzzed again, a follow-up text from my boss. "Hurry." My body hummed with coiled tension, like a spring compressed to its limit. This absurdity was the last thing I needed, especially with something ominous brewing at the bureau. And Karen's smug expression haunted my thoughts. It took a solid 10 minutes to regain my composure before snatching my keys and heading out. The fake cruiser idled at the street's end, lights dimmed, a silent sentinel. Karen's car was absent, suggesting she might be spreading her poisoned narrative elsewhere. Driving off, I focused on steadying my breaths, but my boss's grave tone echoed louder than Karen's theatrics. Glancing in the rearview mirror repeatedly as I hit the main road, I half expected that phony vehicle to tail me, but no pursuit materialized. Yet I felt sandwiched between dual horrors, the imposters haunting my home and an unknown crisis at work. Arriving at the FBI field office, I strode in to find my boss pacing the hallway, his posture rigid with anxiety. "What took you so long?" he snapped, gesturing me into his office. Closing the door, my throat tightened in anticipation. He demanded details on why local authorities were lodging complaints about my threatening conduct. I laid it all out. The bogus badges, the lack of legitimacy, and Karen's clear orchestration. He stared intently for a beat. "This is a mess," he admitted. "Higher-ups have flagged it. Whispers of misconduct. I can't shield you if it blows up." My stomach sank like a stone. "But I'm the victim here. Someone's framing me." He rubbed his eyes wearily. "Whether they're real or not, there's documentation claiming you resisted a lawful inspection. It's baseless, but it's landed on my desk." Anger flushed up my neck. Karen must have fabricated and sent it. She's escalating her vendetta. He sighed deeply. "I can't intervene much if more complaints roll in. Stay composed, prove they're fraud, or you'll face an internal review." Panic flickered, but I nodded, acknowledging the dead end. Leaving his office, my phone buzzed once more. A text from an anonymous number. "Better watch your step. We know who you are." Gripping the device tightly, I nearly crushed it in fury. These antagonists were intent on dismantling my existence, masquerading their sabotage as official. The workday dragged, overshadowed by the morning's confrontation and the dread that Karen had weaponized her pettiness to a dangerous degree. Coworkers cast odd glances, as if rumors had already infiltrated the ranks. Before clocking out, Agent Davis pulled me aside in the break room. "Quick word?" he whispered, scanning for eavesdroppers. "Sure," I replied. He leaned in. "Heard you're on thin ice. Watch your back." My chest constricted. "Here at work or back home?" Davis frowned. "Possibly both. And keep tabs on that Karen. She's boasting about nailing you." As the sun dipped low, I drove home with nerves frayed, bracing for another sighting of those imposters. Turning onto my block, an unfamiliar SUV with tinted windows loomed near my house, sending a shiver down my spine. I parked, eyed it warily, but no one emerged, engine silent. Hurrying indoors, I bolted the door and drew curtains. Moments later, an email pinged from Internal Affairs, demanding an explanation for my altercation with local security. Slumping onto the sofa in a daze, it hit me. Karen had bridged her fake patrol to real bureaucratic channels, jeopardizing my career. Though the phonies had departed earlier, their shadow lingered in the neighborhood, and the Bureau's pressure mounted. With Karen fueling the fire relentlessly, the brewing storm intensified, its reach unfathomable. Later that day, pulling into my driveway, I spotted the same fake HOA cruiser lurking at the street's end. My pulse accelerated, but I feigned nonchalance entering the house. Peeking through blinds, it remained stationary, a taunting presence. Checking messages for any word from the legitimate HOA or signs of Karen's unraveling, I found only a bounced email and a chilling voicemail from a muffled voice. "We know you're digging. Back off or it gets worse." That confirmed Karen had accomplices, amplifying the threat. The following day, attempting the official HOA line from an old newsletter yielded a recording about technical issues. An urgent email on impersonation bounced undeliverable. The neighborhood site was outdated, silent on new security. It seemed Karen had severed all legitimate avenues, isolating me. Reaching out to local cop Alvarez, a reliable contact, I recapped the fakes, citations, and Karen's lead role. Skeptical at first, he agreed to probe the cruiser's plate. If it's private security, they can't pose as cops. As I awaited his callback, block tension escalated. Neighbors whispered suspiciously behind fences, viewing me as the antagonist. One morning, Tamara, a rare ally, knocked frantically, pale-faced, clutching a notice fining her for unapproved paint. Scanning it, I recognized the sham verbiage, threatening eviction. "I tried calling the HOA, but the line's dead," she quavered. "Can Karen really do this?" Rage ignited. "No, it's fraud. Don't pay. I'll sort it." But fear clouded her eyes. "I can't risk my home. If no one's stopping them, maybe it's legit." Work became a battlefield. My boss summoned me, frustration evident. "More reports of clashes with locals," he said, tapping a folder. I detailed the imposters and showed worthless citations, but he shrugged. "If they're private, I can't erase this. Higher-ups aren't happy." Feeling trapped, I dreaded the next damning email. One evening, spotting Karen in her driveway, I confronted her directly, stomach fluttering. "We need to talk." She arched an eyebrow. "Speak." Coolly, I accused, "You're unleashing fakes on me and terrorizing innocents." Her smile thinned. "Not personal, just upholding standards." I balled fists. "By scaring everyone? That's not enforcement." She shrugged. "They comply, pay fines, follow rules, life improves." Simmering, I pressed, "What's your goal?" Feigning confusion, "Cleaning the neighborhood. You're the resistor." A faux cop approached, ordering me away. "We have business with Miss Karen." Jaw tight, "You lack authority." He flashed the badge smugly. "We're all that's needed." Backing off to avoid ammunition, Karen's parting glance fueled my fury. That night, poring over old HOA files, I uncovered a shelved security proposal Karen championed, rejected for being too militaristic. Chills hit. She'd birthed her version illicitly. If she commandeered the community, perhaps high-placed allies amplified her reach, threatening my FBI role. Days later, Alvarez called. Plate ties to unlicensed private security, no HOA contract. Relief mixed with ire. Proof they're frauds. How to link Karen? He paused. "Need official complaints, neighbor statements. Otherwise, it's word versus word." Frustration peaked. "This is my complaint. They threatened me." He sighed. "I believe you, but need corroboration." Karen's instilled fear silenced allies. I was isolated, without a coalition. The Bureau intensified scrutiny. A supervisor grilled me on aggressive behavior, citing distorted reports. I countered truthfully, but she noted, "We're examining all sides." Chest tight, I exited, complaints eroding my credibility. Tamara believed but feared formal involvement. Then, an envelope taped to my door bore a fake seal, citing Ordinance 301 with steep penalties. Snapping, I voicemailed Karen furiously to cease. An hour later, a blocked call hissed, "Don't threaten Karen. We know your boss. We'll ruin you." Rage coiled. They projected connectivity. Late night, peering out, the street seemed idyllic, but I felt ensnared in Karen's game, no nearer to dismantling it as my career teetered. A colleague emailed, "Heads up, review imminent, rumors flying." Another blow, wondering Karen's next ploy amid vulnerability. Though tracing the plate, lacking ties to Karen or neighbor backing left me precarious, her ready to topple me. Tension shadowed every step, FBI scrutiny amplifying home dread. Eyes felt everywhere, suspicious neighbors, lurking unmarked cars. Late afternoon grocery run aimed to clear my head, but spotting a figure by Karen's hedge knotted my stomach. Midway, an unknown caller rasped, "Stop digging or else," hanging up abruptly, chilling me. Returning, a flyer under my wiper sought HOA police volunteers meeting at Karen's with uniform fees. Blatant recruitment shuddered me. A squad could solidify her grip. Snapping a photo for proof, I shredded it. Noticing Karen's blinds twitch, she watched. Indoors, I mapped her takeover timeline from warnings and citations, systematic erosion of real processes, filling voids with her fabrications. Why, and who backed her? The warning voice hinted muscle, resources. Evening, Tamara visited with documents. "Old newsletters show Karen grabbing events committee," she said, trembling. "Seemed harmless then, but now?"
Flipping pages, disbelief grew. Years in planning. She pointed a shaky finger. Security guidelines enforced. Her signature. Vague officials. Hand on mine. Legal? No, I assured, sharing grim resolve. Real HOA silenced. Police inert without crime proof. Bureau mired in reviews. Next day, I met Alvarez with folder. Calls, flyers, recruitment, fees. He whistled. Bigger than thought. Pinning Karen? Her name everywhere. Testimonies possible. He frowned. Need signed statements, not fear-muted. Shoulders sagged. Neighbors terrified. SUV plates? Shell company, hard trace. Dead end. Thanking him amid frustration, en route home, a black sedan tailed suspiciously, veering off near Inalt Station. Pulse pounding. Followed?
Phone buzzed. Talk ASAP. Tomorrow, first thing. Mind world, worst cases. Another complaint? Night sleepless, doom looming. 2 a.m., car slam jolted me. Window peek revealed bulky figure eyeing house, departing swiftly. Not Karen, accomplice? Morning, boss waited sternly. Bad news, ushering in. Dozen complaints, misconduct, threats, damage. Mouth dry. Damage? Lies. He rubbed temples. Official, signed. Karen coerced them. Community against me. Believe setup, but pattern alarms higher-ups. Prove fraud fast. Nodded amid desperation. Time dwindling. Driving home drained. Fake cruiser parked brazenly outside. Approaching, window cracked. Back off or regret. Hammering heart, resolve hardened. Job precarious, neighborhood hostile, but needed irrefutable proof Karen puppet mastered. Stakes peak, confrontation inevitable, potentially costing all. Driving to headquarters, pulse thundering, I braced for inquiry into misconduct. Weeks of harassment, falsities, Karen's patrol left me depleted, jittery. Lobby echoes amplified weary stares, troubles notorious, target palpable. Not chest tight, breathe deep, truth my ally. Conference room, unknown agent led to panel of stern higher-ups, boss grim and back. Older agent intoned, discussing complaints, threats to locals, law defiance. Heart pounded. Authorities fake, badges phony, HOA unapproved. Steely woman lifted file. 10 neighbor statements claim bullying. Blood boiled. Setup proof. Unlicensed security, no standing. Panel glanced guarded. Door swung. Karen entered, suited, briefcase poised. Jaw dropped. Her here? Raw disbelief. Agent cleared throat. Miss Garrett provides enforcement evidence. Mind reeled. Invited to testify against me? Karen, polished, good morning, correcting misunderstandings. Boss's stunned glance, no forewarning. Speechless momentarily, Karen laid folder. Neighborhood watch reports, noise, suspicious activity, break-ins tied to agent. Bristled, lies, but she persisted. Requested cooperation with volunteer police, refused, denying authority. Just for safety. Level-voiced, Karen fabricates. Scheme months, intimidating, extorting via fakes. Steely brow raised. Forms here? Heart dropped. Emailed. Karen shook head, disappointed. No record. Confused, perhaps. Anger surged. She painted me rogue. Twist. Older agent. Disclose family connection. Karen nodded. My uncle, deputy director. Stomach lurched. Explained shutdowns, fast complaints, neighbor powerlessness. Panelist. Impartiality ensured, but claims serious. Concrete proof? Voice wavered. Unlicensed firm records, extorted neighbors scared. Karen, family upholds law, encourage safety. Insincerity dripped. Vision swam, alone against embedded foe. Meeting closed with investigation promise of me and group. Exited defeated. Karen murmured, "Watch step." Jaw clenched, resisted outburst. Boss caught up, unaware relation. Tight spot, not cleared. Shaky exhale, no. Sympathetic, gather evidence beyond hearsay. Building exit, knees weak. Karen's uncle apex, access immense. Channels hers, guarantee slim. Wheel-gripped, white-knuckled, panic fought. FBI member battling internal leadership ally. Hope, expose scam undeniably, risking career to topple her. Homeward from inquiry, floor vanished. Karen's reach, bureau top. Suspicion darker. Boss's assurance hollow. Driveway scan, no cruiser or SUV, initially. Late, empty street. Shaky breath, normal night craved. Inside, Tamara texted, "They're here," scared. Heart raced. Foot rushed to her house, shadows hugged. Cruiser front, engine humming. Hedge hidden, porch pounding. Open or violation. Anger blazed. Cleared throat loud. Officer turned, scowling. "You?" Belt grabbed. Ground held. FBI. Intimidation. Leave. Other phoned. Line useless. High friends. Irony laughed, admitting ties. Tamara cracked door, wide-eyed trembling. "Go," whispered. Officer form thrust. Signed statement, friend harasses. Pulse leaped. Betray me. Furious forward. Back off. Signs nothing. Shove stumbled me. Taller, zip ties smirked. Careful, assault charges. Composed. Impersonation federal crime. Bars await. Finger pointed. No chance. Beyond fines threat. Voice behind. What's this? Alvarez approached. Off-duty check. Relief flooded. Badge out. Fakes stiffened. Alvarez to Tamara? Trespassing? Nodded, teary. Won't leave. To me, your text, delayed. To officers, ID. Phony badge flashed. Alvarez unmoved. Not official. Driver's licenses now. Or questioning. Glanced, stammered. HOA authorized? Arms crossed. No threat right on property. Step away. Radioed backup. Paled them. Taller sneered last. Bolted to cruiser. Alvarez plate noted. Tricky, but pursue. Tamara thanked shaky. Inside, couch sank. Blame you or court. Steadied, bluff, no backing. Prove it. Doubt stung. Wormed into inquiry. Coerced half. Stayed planning. She agreed. Alvarez statement. Breakthrough potential. Homeward, night deep. Crickets porch glow. Unease wrapped. Buzz, unknown text. Out time. Cooperate or lose all. Chest tight. Boulder post-confront. Inside, couch sank. Illusions gone. Karen's hold vast. Uncle aided. Evidence needed ironclad. Family proof. Ideas churned, risky. Drifted, haunted. Suspension dread. Morning mailbox slip. Meeting tonight, community center. Be there. Unsigned. Trap. Curiosity, desperation pushed. Catch act, record claims. Fear, set up, humiliate, threaten. Note stared. Weight crushing. Shaky job. Powerless neighbors. Shadow army. Alvarez messaged. More witnesses or no charges. Press. Hope flickered. Meeting chance testimonies. Unmask police. Corner Karen pre-destruction. Ticking clock. Power play. Attend essential. Trap sensed. Failure expose. Lose job. Home. Evening readied community center. Not stomached. Recording device jacket. Phone audio set. Texted Alvarez location. Caution. Reply. Careful. Call ugly. Deep breath. Headed buzzing strategies. Arrived packed. Chairs rose. Neighbors murmuring. Karen front. Papers holding. Chatting sign lawn supporters. Podium stage. Two fakes side bouncers. Back blended. Karen podium. Cheerful forced. Evening all. Thanks coming. Challenges. Disruptions. Violations. Safety. Initiative. New HOA police. Safe. Orderly. Applause sparse. Glances nervous. Tension simmered. Continued. Resistance few. Disrespect standards. Eyes flicked me brief. Gestured officers.
Volunteers issued citations, noise, lawns, activities, safety, values. Silence broke, stood, lie, smile faltered, excuse, forward projected, police illegitimate, private, no authority, scam. Gasps rippled, officer moved, badge up, federal, touch, regret. Hesitated, Karen glanced, pushed, hired, muscle. Karen intimidates, extorts, bogus fines, eviction threats, illegal. Face flushed, bitter rule hater. Phone screenshots, Alvarez. Proof, unlicensed, no contract. Buzz whispers worried. Man stood shaken. True Karen? Not real? Faltered, volunteers? Seized, no detain, fine right. Infractions, squeeze money. Pointed papers, see citations, fake, bet. Forward eager. Karen shook, pulled away. Neighbor snatched, no seal, signature. Pale, snapped, confidential. Damage done, demanding answers, phones picturing. Tension peaked, officer muttered, didn't sign, bolted. Alvarez entrance, calm, investigating unauthorized extortion. Drained color, composed failed. Harassment, connections, can't. New backup. Alvarez, questioning ma'am. Cuffed, whispered me, good work. Let out, talking, realization manipulated. Tamara approached relieved. Did it? Tight smile, adrenaline surging. Neighbors apologized, trapped admitted. Nodded, drained, grateful truth out. Aftermath, statements, audit confirmed pocketing fines. Uncle denied, scrutiny, resigned. Weeks. Neighborhood normalized, fakes vanished. Company sued. Weeks later, boss office. Long look, rare smile. Right all along. Cleared. Illegal, unauthorized. Apologies pressured. Complaints. Backtrack. Relief washed. Held career, reputation, despite sabotage. Office exit, deep breath, tension breaking. Neighborhood normal, no fakes, citations. Curious glances processing, near empire. Smiled, survived, downed suburb kingdom.